Fatima, I'm proud of you, mama. And ZAC, I'm sorry for your loss. What's good, y'all? It's your good sis Erica Vane coming to you right here on Erica Vane TV with another ZATIMA video. In this video, I am doing a breakdown for season 2, episode number 18, titled Pride to the Side. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications so you don't miss out on any of my ZATIMA content and conversations. And we just gonna jump right on into this conversation about this episode because it was a lot. Before we jump into this video, I have to let you know that this video was created during the 2023 WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes. Without the labor of the writers and actors currently on strike, the series being covered here wouldn't exist. Through the duration of these strikes, my company and I stand in solidarity with both unions and are refusing paid opportunities presented by struck companies such as the 8 major Hollywood studios. Content created on Erica Vane platforms are independent of any struck company and not created in promotion of said company. Articles, videos, and audio posts are created in critique of the media in support of the artists who created it. It is important that you, the audience, know that these strikes are a result of corporate greed. The writers and actors have been victimized by major studios for quite some time, and the time is now to demand fair pay and working conditions, standardized practices across streaming business models, and other terms that will ensure the pipeline for new aspiring creatives remains open and viable for years to come. At this time, neither union is calling for a boycott of any television or film content. If you would like to support either or both unions, consider donating to strike funds, walking local picket lines, and using your social media platform to amplify messages delivered daily by union members and leaders. Links to official websites and more information can be found in the description box down below. Videos explaining both strikes and continual strike news can be found on Erica Vane TV. Now let's get into it. Okay, so we don't actually know if Miss Gladys kicks the bucket in this episode. The cliffhanger is the doctor coming and telling ZAC that she's sorry before it cuts out shortly after Fatima comes to the hospital, and they have a very emotional moment of him saying she can't leave and he's so sorry, and he knows that she's mad, but he can't handle any more loss. And I'm very proud of Fatima in this episode. I knew that she was going to wind up getting to the hospital because at the end of the day, when you are tied to somebody emotionally in the way that they are, whether it's romantic or y'all are friends or whatever, you have to show up for people in their hardest, deepest, worst times. And this is a pretty bad time. Like, ZAC's mother is basically 1 foot in the grave, right? And I think that Fatima would totally feel guilty and hate herself if ZAC's mom passed and she didn't even show up to say, you have support, you are loved, I will sit with you. But I totally understood her not wanting to go there. ZAC has already created a traumatic moment in him basically choosing Connie over her and disrespecting her and sending her out of the hospital the first time that they had the run in. So I completely understood it, and I think this is why I was so proud of Fatima specifically, because I think in this episode we really got to watch her process and go through her full-on process of dealing with this very real thing. She cares deeply about ZAC, but she's also still considering herself, considering what she's been subjected to, considering how she feels, and that is all I have been asking for, Mr. Perry. So we know that you're capable of it because you pull it up out the hat every now and again. Fatima spends this whole episode throwing herself into her work, telling herself that she's not gonna go there. Once she finds out, so the top of the episode, it's the confrontation with Connie. I do think that the Connie parts were a little bit OD, but the actress who played Connie delivered it in an authentic way, so I'm cool with it. But the way that Tyler Perry basically beats a dead horse and really goes OD with some of these characters advocating for certain things, I'm just because not only did Connie tell her she need to go to the hospital at the top of the episode after she revealed his mom OD'd or whatever, and that she was only there to do the alarm and he don't want her and yada 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 yada, but we also get a moment where Connie calls while Fatima's at work and she rehashes it, and I think that part in and of itself is not a problem, but the scene itself goes on a little bit too long, and having Connie constantly say, "Ooh, you're the love of his life," and and he wants you and he don't want nobody else. He dropped all his other bitches for you. Like, girl, now you're OD. Like, you said that she was OD, now you're OD. However, I'm not gonna be too nitpicky about the episode because overall I did actually enjoy it. I enjoyed the experience of watching it. I was with them the entire time. Belinda getting there and getting read her rights by Tony, I was like, okay, Tony, not you arriving to the party, you're a little bit late. You know, somebody gotta be on their damn, almost at their deathbed for you to decide that you're gonna get everybody together. I guess, I suppose, but at least you're here. He was like not playing no games with Nate. He was not playing no games with Belinda. He was not playing no games with Jeremiah. He's like, my brother is hurting. His mama is about to die and y'all not about to play in his face. This is all we've been asking for. Nathan been out of pocket. Like, people been doing crazy stuff. Like, you've been kicking, yucking it up and dapping Nathan as he's continuing to do goofy ass shit. And like, now you finally, you know what? You arrived, so let me get off your back. I appreciate it because ZAC needed it. He needed someone to advocate for him. He did throw a couple of like cues because Belinda knew damn well she should not have been there. Girl, why are you there? Because you care about ZAC? And Fatima said everything that needed to be said. Girl, I'm about to put you in this hospital bed. You don't get your ass up out of here. Because what the fuck are you doing here? You don't need to be worried about where I'm at. You need to be worried about the bullets I'm gonna put in your ass. Belinda is just so unserious. Anyway, the overall, I think the episode, you know, was pretty good. Again, Fatima spent most of the episode thinking about her feelings, wanting to go to the hospital, but then also not wanting to be discarded again, which I just thought was just so great because this is what the process actually looks like. Like, this episode felt really well paced. And I know I've spoken about, you know, timing just not being right within the episodes and things taking, like, almost feeling like Tyler Perry is like rushing things as he's showing them out on screen, but things played out pretty much beautifully. We get more in this episode of Jeremiah blaming ZAC, and I hate it because ZAC is in a place right now where he's self-deprecating and he's rejecting it because he knows that Jeremiah is high, but then he's also internalizing it a little bit because it's easier, right? It's easier to blame himself for all the shit that he's not responsible for, which is a very interesting conundrum to me. Like, it's easy for you to take on the guilt of some shit that actually is not your doing and it's not your fault. But when somebody like Fatima points out the things that you're not doing or that are your fault, those are the things that you don't actually want to address. But you know, your mama's dying, so let's stay focused, Erica. I finally arrived in this episode back at a place of like feeling very deep sympathy and empathy for ZAC, but it's literally only about him and losing his mama. This whole circumstance of him potentially losing his mama in the way that he is. The last thing that he said to her, the last thing that he did was give her the $500 that she probably used to buy too much drugs and take too much drugs, and like what that could potentially do for his psyche. I feel so bad, and like I caught myself like tearing up a little bit. I'm like, Devale, not you in your bag with this performance, because I'm about to shed a thug tear for ZAC, because I can feel through the screen exactly how painful this moment is and how pivotal it is. And it's unfortunate. You never want anybody to experience this. So for the most part, the ZAC and Fatima drama of it all is put to the wayside in this episode. And it's really about Fatima processing her feelings and about ZAC dealing with the impending potential doom for his mom. And then everybody is kind of like buzzing around that. Angela is still 10 toes down and like, you need to take your ass to the hospital. But we already knew that she was going to do that because she was already on Team ZAC. Clearly, Belinda shows up, which she shouldn't, because her and Nathan still fucking. This was an interesting episode, a very, very heavy episode. Now, on a lighter note, yeah, Bryce is taking a page out of Preston's book, I guess. He down at the damn law firm taking out Lacey because Angela is throwing ass at her house to the waiter. I am not laughing that he's a waiter, y'all. Just Tyler Perry is so messy. Like, the way that he introduces and like have certain characters intertwine is just such a messy way to do it. And then he had the nerve to be so standoffish because Bryce's cards kept declining. I'm like, not the aggression, but you're supposed to not know him. And then also, Bryce, it's given stalker, because how the hell do you know that this man was just at her house that night? Like, are you watching her house? Like, what is is happening here? And honestly, y'all, Bryce has been rubbing me the wrong way for quite a while. I don't think that he should be ostracized for his sexuality and all that went down. However, I don't think that he should have sexually assaulted ZAC, because that's basically what he did. But the thing that I struggle with him is like, he has this switch that flips, and like, he's sweet, nice, oh my god, I don't want no conflict, oh my god, I just want you to like me, I don't want to say anything bad. And then once he gets mad, he like switches to this other thing, and that to me seems very volatile and very dangerous, and I don't trust it. And for me, specifically for me, y'all, I'll be clear when I say this, watching him navigate the little restaurant scene, it was low-key giving me like model minority proximity to whiteness. Like, there was a couple of peaks of like, he's behaving like a white man, like a cis white man, and I don't like that. Like, the entitlement, the like, it just gave me the ick. I want to explain it more, I think, on Our Sisters Keeper tonight when we go live to talk about the episodes after. But like, Bryce, you are not helping yourself here. I want to root for you, but you seem emotionally volatile, and it's giving, not necessarily bipolar, because that's a little bit too much, but it's giving you're capable of being abusive if somebody rubs you the wrong way. And I don't like that. Now, was Angela right for trying to G-check to you about dating this girl? No, because you don't want him, girl. And you don't want him. Like, why are we... Fatima, why are you still even advocating for her to go back to Bryce when he is clearly not what she wants? Like, she's not okay with it. You don't just randomly get over and decide that you want to have sex with bisexuals if you have never wanted to have sex with bisexuals or swingers. Like, it's just not how that works. Like, somebody could be a nice guy all the hell they want, but if something is like a deal breaker, it takes time for you to work your way out of it. It's not just a switch you flip just because he's a damn nice guy. So like, even watching this whole like through line of like Bryce and Angela being tied together, but she has no respect for his sexuality and his identity and like the things that he's interested in, and he's just pursuing her. He already has called her a fetish. It's like, it just don't fit. Like, that's it. Let it go. Stop trying to make this damn shoe fit, because it don't. Like, why are we watching this? I think that's pretty much it, y'all. It was a low-key, a little bit more somber of an episode. I laughed a lot more in episode 17 versus 18, but I think the combination of them together made for some very solid episodes. If I missed anything, let me know in the comment section down below. But then also be sure to check out Our Sisters Keeper, whether you catch it live when we go live around 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Thursday, or on replay, which will be available after we finish the live, for more in-depth conversations around both episodes, but this one specifically. It's your good sis, Sheila to Talk TV with, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.